So when we talk about 7 ages, so what do you mean by that? It means called as the 7 stages of the human being, isn't it? Are you listening to me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So is it considered as the 7 stages of the human being?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if I talk about the title of the poem, so you can say that the beginning line, all the world is a stage. It's nothing but a kind of a fitting metaphor, right? So, or you can say that the kind of a direct comparison that captures the beauty of the entire poem, right? It justifies the main idea that life is a theatrical performance where every individual plays what? Multiple roles over time, much like actors on a stage, much like actors on a stage. So when the poet gives the title called as um, the 7 ages, so how does he justify the title? He wants to point out that life has a stage, right? So where Shakespeare likens the world to a stage where people perform, right? Or people are the performers, right? Just as an actor performs scripted roles in a play. Scripted roles in a play means whatever the roles that have been given to the actor, right? So he or she performs that roles in a play. So humans move through life assuming different roles and responsibilities. So in that case, human beings have been compared with the actors. And the poet stated that humans move through life assuming or expecting that different roles and responsibilities during various stages of life. The stage that symbolizes the transient nature of life. That transient means called the moving nature of life, where we make brief appearances right before our final exit. Brief appearances. Brief appearances means briefly described, right? That how each stage plays very important role before our final exit. Second thing is called as this also justifies the title, the 7 ages, which is known as a male and woman as players. The title emphasizes what? That everyone, regardless of a gender or status, is merely a player, right? So, in the grand scheme of life, each person plays what? His or her part in the larger drama of existence. And you can say that focusing the universality of the human experience, focusing the universality, right, of the human experiences. Then, if you talk about the 7 ages of man, the poem breaks life down into 7 stages. Each stage represents a different role, much like the multiple acts in a play. Acts means what? Multiple performs made by the performer in a play. The stage serves as a constant backdrop for the change or for the changes. It highlights how life is not constant or static, but life evolves or changes, just like a theatrical performance that moves from one scene to another. You must have seen movies. You must have seen, theatrical performance. So in that case, what happened? One scene goes, the other scene comes out, right? Likewise, human life also uh, transient into 7 ages of man, right? So It also states about exist and entrances. So it connects to the, recurring idea that called as a, coming again and again, that humans enter the world. It means when you talk about humans enter the world, it indicates about humans' birth or burn. They are born and eventually exit. Exit means called as a die. Similar to how actors enter and exit a stage during the play. And this actually gives the idea that life had a beginning and life had an end or ending. With everything in between, what? Everything in between means birth and death. In between, you would find out whatever comes, they are nothing but called as a temporary. So in that case, you can say means the actors come and the actors go. The rest of the things in between is called as a temporary performances, right? So all total, if you talk about that, the title, The Seven Ages, brilliantly, indicate or encapsulates or called as a presents the main metaphor of the poem, right? Main metaphor means main idea that actually revealed the point that what life is a performance, humans are actors, we each play a series of roles before our, you know, before our inevitable exit. Inevitable exit means the existence or the exit that we definitely or each human being has to do. It reflects what? It reflects that fleeting and performative nature. Fleeting means what? Passing quickly, and performing nature of a human existence, making it a perfect and meaningful, title of this poem, right? So that is why if you talk about that the seven ages of man, it's indicating about how the poem breaks life down into the seven ages, which we are going to discuss. Okay, so let's go to the point and we'll try to understand each and everything. Did you get the critical means idea or called as a
Yes,
justification
sir.
of the title, right? Okay. Next. So, what the point starts with? Can you read the poem again?
Yes, sir. All the world's a stage, and all the man and woman merely players. They have their exist and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. His acts been 7 ages. At first day, infant mewling and puking in the nurse's arm, and the whining schoolboy with his natural and shining morning face, creeping like snail, unwilling to go, and then the lover, striking like furnace with a hopeful ballad made to his mistress, eyebrow than a soldier with full of strange oaths and beard like a part, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation,
Okay. So
living.
let me discuss that. So when you read the poem, what do we find out? We find out the beginning. The beginning line suggests that all the world is a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exist and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. His acts being seven ages. Now, if you look into that, the poet tells us that the world is a stage or a platform where people act or people display or show what their talents to the audience. Because that's what it is stated. All the world is a stage and all the men and women merely players. They have their exist and their entrances. And one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being seven ages. So this clearly indicating that how the poet takes the world and consider the world is a stage. It means it is a direct comparison, right? So the poet wants to convey that the world is a stage. Stage means a place where actors perform, a stage or a platform where people act. So that may be a man or that may be woman, right? So they perform, they display or they show their talents. They show their talents to whom? To the audience. If they perform on the stage, they show their talents to the audience, right? So like that, you would find out that all humans are nothing but players or actors who play a specific role. Like you become the son to your parents. So, and I become the son to my parents, but at the same time, I also perform the role of what? Role of a father, role of a husband, right? And role of a lover, right or not? So in that case, if you talk about that, all humans are nothing but players or actors who play a specific role, like in a movie or a show or a character in which a character is what first introduced and finally the character dies, isn't it? So similarly, in real life also, what do we find out in real life as well, right? We, the human being, enter the world, enter the world through our birth and exit the world through death, right? And this line can also be interpreted in the sense that what we keep on entering and leaving one world or one's life, right? The poet also states that human can also play multiple roles on the stage. In a movie or a show, an actor can play a character which has more than one personality, right? So with the different names and the characteristics. In real life also, a man or a means like I pointed, a married woman and children play the role of mother and the wife. The poet also says that what the acts or the roles that differ with the time. He has categorized the roles in 7 ages, meaning that as we go from one age to another, so humans tend to face what a shift in their roles, isn't it? So that's what is called as the first part where it is clearly, or the first stanza where it is clearly narrated, isn't it? So in that case, if you talk about means line by line, I would say that the poem all the world or the all the world is a stage or called as the 7 ages that appears in act 2, so, act 2 and scene 7. So what is that act 2 scene 7? Now act 2 scene 7 is nothing but means one of the drama or a play. So the play name is called as You Like It. So it is the name of the play, like Julius Caesar, Merchant Venice, or you talk about much ado about nothing. So William Shakespeare has written many of the play, right? So among them, you would find out As You Like It is also another play. So As You Like It, so in which you would find out many acts are there, and among them one of the act is called as Act 2. And in Act 2, Scene 7, you would find out that this famous, monologue, right? So monologue means called as uh, in a one saying or one sitting, the poet has written this particular poem. So in which you would find out the character. So all this means As You Like It, in which you would find out this poem is written, and it is nothing but a monologue. And here the character whose name is called as Jaques, right? So who delivered a speech, and in that speech you would find out how he compares life to a play and stated that where individual go through 7 ages of or 7 stages of life, right? So in which you would find out that the first line where he stated all the world is a stage, and this line introduces the extended metaphor that runs throughout the poem where William Shakespeare compares the world into a stage and suggesting that life is like a theatrical performance and all the men and women merely players. Here he states that all human beings are actors playing roles on, you can say that on this metaphorical stage. Metaphorical means directly comparing world with the stage, and stated that life becomes a series of performances, right? Series of performance means in life you perform many roles where we assume various roles during different phases, right? So the third line stated they have their exist and their entrances. This line refers to whom? Now people who being burned, right? Who being burned. It means they enter, right? Who enter. Or you can say that people being burned is indicating entrances, and dying is called as exist, marking the beginning and end of each person's role in life. Then in the next part, it is stated, and one man in his time plays many parts. So it indicates that a person throughout their lifetime plays multiple roles as their identity and duties change as they move through different stages of life, right? Then, next stanza it is stated, his acts being seven ages. It means the speaker defines that whatever the act he does or one does, so which is known as the life, and that being divided into seven stages, right? Likening them to the different acts of a play. So each age or stage brings new challenges. Each age or stage brings new challenges, characteristics, and roles. Let's talk about you. So you become the sun. So you have a challenges. You have a characteristics. You have also different roles, isn't it? So uh, the next line stated that at first the infant. So what is that? The first stage. The first stage is nothing but the infant, right? Infant means baby. The first stage is infancy, where the individual is a helpless baby, right? So that is what the first stage. So mewling and pucking, right? MEWLING, that called as a mewling and pucking in the nurse's arms. So when we talk about mewling, that refers to baby's cry, and puking that represents nothing but a baby's tendency to spit up food. Spit up. It means throw food. The infant is entirely dependent on others. And that emphasizes that vulnerability of this stage. So you can find out the baby is helpless. The baby is easily affected, right? So that is what the first stage, in which means the baby needs the supports of all, right? Then the poet stated, then the winning schoolboy. So after the first stage of the baby, so the second stage is known as a winning schoolboy with his satchel. So this is what the second stage describes, what a young schoolboy who is hesitated or reluctant to do what? To go to school. He is not interested to go to school. The boy carries his satchel, SATCHEL. Satchel is called as a small bag. So, and is often unhappy, or you can say that often complaining. So that is what the meaning of winning, WHINING. Winning means complaining. So unhappy or complaining. And you can talk about that shining morning face. And when you talk about after infancy, he turns to become a schoolboy. And at that time, his behavior is called as unhappy behavior and complaining. Why? Because he is not interested to go to school. And this is what the second stage. And a shining morning face, creeping like snail. The If you talk about the shining morning face, that refers to the what? Freshness. Now you know that when you are a child or when you are a school going boy, your face, your means, your body that appears like you are fresh. right? So, and shining morning face, creeping like snail, even when you turn to young boy, right? Young age. So at the same time also your face appears fresh while creeping like snail. So that indicates nothing but the slow and unwilling pace as he reluctantly goes to school. So it means you are the school boy, but you have no interest to go to school. So, and forcefully when means your parents sent you to the school. So at the same time, how you appear like what? Means snail, snail. So creeping like snail is nothing but directly, not directly, you can say indirectly comparing with the boy with the snail. Like the snail that moves slow and seem like uninterest speed. So, and hesitation. Likewise, you also find out the school boy, he is also not interested and he also moves with the unwilling speed, right? So unwillingly to school. So this line focus the what hesitation of the boy to go to school. A common, emotion among young children who would rather play than study. So they are not interested to do study. So their interest is in what playing or called as doing all the other things, but not to do study. Then in the sixth line, you would find out, and then the lover. Now, did you find out that the first stage is called as infancy, second stage is called as a schoolboy, then the third stage is what? That called as a lover, right? And this is the third stage. The individual becomes a passionate young lover, driven by what? Intense emotion, right? So intense emotion means emotion is filled with him, right? Signing like furnace with a awful ballad. So signing like a furnace, when you say that signing like a furnace means what? That refers to the love, right? Or the lovers, right? Lovers burning passion and desire. So when one loves to the other, so at the same time he has filled with nothing but passion, burning passion and desire or yearning, you can say. The lover expresses what? The lover expresses their feelings. Feelings through what? Feelings through awful ballads. When we say that awful ballads, the meaning of awful is known as a sad, right? So, and ballad is called as a story. So, sad love story, right? Or sad love songs. So, lamenting their unrequited love or hat. So in that case, you can find out a lover who have means uh, different types of emotion. That's something called as a means shining like a furnace. The like means that the fire you find out in a furnace. Likewise, lover also filled with a what? Burning passion and desire, right? So and the lover expresses what? Lover expresses feelings through you can say sad song or sad love song, or you can say that crying their unrequited love means what? Excuse me. Unrequited love means the love means that he desires, or you would find out the hatak means painful heart. Met to his mistress eyebrow. Met to his mistress eyebrow. This refers to the what? Lover writing poetry or love songs. So what does it indicate? Made to his mistress eyebrow. So what do you mean by made to his mistress eyebrow? Now it refers to the lover writing poetry or love songs about even the smallest details of his beloved, such as her eyebrow, showing the depth of his infatuation. So here you would find out the lover means the lover how narrates that means that his lover or her lover, right, becomes nothing but a what? Means becomes the eyebrow, right? Eyebrow. And also called as a showing depth of his infatuation, or called as her infatuation. Infatuation means what? How much love he does or she does to him or he does to her, right? So that's what is called as a lover, right? In that case, you can find out lover is nothing but indicating the third stage. Then you would find out the next stage is called as a soldier. Infancy, then second is called as a young schoolboy, third is called as a lover, and then fourth is called as a soldier, right? Then a soldier. The fourth stage represents what? A soldier, full of ambition, pride, and a desire for fame and honor. Now, understand that. Now, what does it indicate? It indicates, Rakitita. So it indicates that what means uh, in this fourth stage, what happened? This fourth stage refers to the refers to the human's life turning into a soldier, full of ambition, pride, and a desire for fame and honor. So full of strange oaths and bearded like the pard, right? So here you can say that the soldier is depicted or presented as someone. The soldier is depicted or presented as someone who promises what? Means or who swears strange oaths, right? Who takes nothing but a strange promises, like what? Often praising or promising things, and is compared to nothing but a pard, P-A-R-D. What do you mean by pard? Pard means referring to leopard, right? The wild animal, leopard. So here means the soldier is compared to a pard. So in appearance, so how does the soldier compare to leopard? Now, the behavior or the appearance of the soldier is compared to the behavior and the appearance of the wild animal leopard. And you also find out the soldier is brave and the soldier is wild, right? So likewise, you would also find out the leopard is also brave and the leopard is also wildness, isn't it? So therefore, this is the four stages. In this four stages, the poet compares means how the soldier means uh, becomes the fourth stage of the human life. And in this stage, the poet stated that the soldier means appears, behave, and also shows the bravery and wildness like the leopard, right? The poet also said that jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, right? Jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel. The soldier is extremely what? Protective of his honor, right? So, and it's quick to what? Engage in fights or disputes to defend it. So, this is the line which is clearly stated that jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel. So, here the soldier is extremely protective of his reputation, honor, and his and is quick to engage in a what? If somebody says bad or somebody try to insult, so he is ready to fight or try to defend it, right? Seeking the bubble reputation. So bubble, you understand? Thus, seeking the bubble reputation. So the soldier seeks or desires a reputation and fame. Reputation and fame means what? Uh, uh, Obviously, when you get a job, you try to, you try to make your own identity. So, and you always try to means try to keep your dignity, self-respect. So, similar to that, this is called as a fourth stage where the soldier is compared to the leopard and stated that desiring the bubble's reputation, which is called as a reputation and fame, but it is described as a what? Bubble. Why? Now, because it is fleeting and fragile. You can say that bubble. So its lifespan is for a second. It comes to the it comes out and easily burst out, isn't it? So in that case, we can say the bubble is fragile. Fragile means weak, and immediately it burst. So and disappear. So something that can easily burst and be disappear, isn't it? So like that, you would also find out the soldier's reputation and fame that has been compared with the bubbles, right, which can easily disappear and burst. So therefore, the reputation and fame is called as a fragile, weak, and also passing quickly. Even in the cannon's mouth, even in the cannon's mouth. So in this particular phrase, it highlights the soldier's desires to take his life, even in the cannon's mouth. Cannon is called as, means that you can say that a particular object through which you fire occurs, right? So therefore, it is stated the phrase highlights the soldier's willingness to take his life in risk, even facing what? Even facing cannon fire. Why? Now to gain that what? Fragile and also you can say that uh, fragile and fleeting, fragile and fleeting reputation and honor. For that, weak and also passing quickly reputation and honor, right? So he doesn't, the soldier doesn't want to lose what? Lose his reputation and honor. And for that, he can die also. Then the next it is stated, and then the justice, right? The fifth stage is that of the justice or judge, right? Symbolizing middle age. Now you find out what the middle is. And then the justice. So justice is indicating as the fifth stage of the person that is known as a justice or judge, symbolizing middle aged. At this point, the individual is wise and experienced. Did you understand that? First is infancy, second is called as a school-going boy, third is known as a means lovers, and the fourth one is called as a soldier, and the fifth one is called as a justice, right? Let's talk about your father. Let's talk about my father. So they are in the middle age, right? And at this point, uh, they are wise and experienced, right? So therefore, whatever they say, whatever they do or say for our betterment, because they have the experience, right? So and at that time, so how they appear like? They appear fair, round belly with a good cap and line, right? In fair, round belly with a good cap and line. So the poet wanted to say that the justice is physically described as what? Having a fair, round belly, a sign of wealth and comfort, possibly due to a life of ease, right? So and here the word capon lined. Capon refers to what? A type of fattened chicken. Fattened chicken. Do you know that uh, some chicken are there who are nothing but very fat inside? So, and they symbolize what? They symbolize that they have taken heavy food. Likewise, in the Middle Age, you would find out our parents or our father and mother. So they turn to the Middle Age in which they have experience, they earned to so much to come make their life comfortable, and that's the reason. So they look like what? Fair round belly, right? And uh, that have been compared with the what? Capon, which is indicated as a fattened chicken, right? And symbolizes nothing but what? Luxurious lifestyle they or comfortable life that they want to live. With eyes severe and beard of formal cut. With eyes severe and beard of formal cut. The justice is, portrayed or presented as a serious and dignified. Serious and dignified means they look like your father, like my father, how they look at us. They look at us with a serious and also they always want the self-respect figure with a carefully trimmed beard. So, and severe expression indicating the authoritative and knowledgeable. So they always believe that what they have experienced, so they have uh, all kind of knowledge that what, and they also understand that how to control the family, how to give good pieces of advice, isn't it? So therefore, this is the fifth stage you can consider, right? So full of white swords and modern instances, right? So in that age means they are full of white swords, which means white sayings. They always give nothing but a suggestion and give examples from contemporary life, like what happened to their life. They offer advice based on their experiences. So, and so he plays his part. So, therefore, they play that part. And this line confirms that the justice, like others before him, is playing his role in the grand play of life, right? Then you talk about the sixth age, right? The sixth age sits. The sixth age describes what? The transition of old age. Now, the same father of yours or of mine turning into old age, where the individual, individual begins to decline, degrade physically. So, into the lean, slippered pantaloon. When we say that into the lean and slippered pantaloon, so pantaloon refers to an old man often in a comic character. Like you must have seen the cartoons. In that cartoons, the old man is represented in a comic character in traditional Italian theater, right? Known for being weak and foolish. Weak means what? They don't know anything. They behave like foolish because once means a person reaches to that sixth stage of life, so that appears like nothing but a pantaloon. The lean and slippery imagery emphasizes physical frailty. Physical frailty means called as physically weak, right? So they can't see everything clearly. They become weak in nature. So all the dresses, clothes, so that also turning nothing but a loose to them. So um, they're physically degrade as well as things are also means loose to them, right? So with spectacles on nose and pouch on side, right? The old man, they wears the spectacles due to poor eyesight, they cannot see anything, and carries a pouch indicating nothing but a more sedentary lifestyle. So more sedentary lifestyle means more lazy lifestyle. His youthful hose, well said, a world too wide, right? So his youthful hose, well shaped, a world too wide. This line also indicates what? The changes in the old man's body. His once youthful clothes means his young age clothes, right? So hose or stockings no longer fit him. So those clothes that he used during his youngest time now no longer fit him. Why? Because his legs have shrunk with age, means thin, lean with age. For his shrunk shank, for his shrunk shank and his big manly voice, right? So in that case, you would find out his manly voice, his strong voice has now turned weakened and become thin and tremulous. Tremulous means shivering, turning again towards a childish treble. Now you would find out this is the second stage of the baby, right? The first stage was what? The first stage was the baby when he burns. The second stage is a young school going child. Third stage is called as a lover. Fourth stage is called as a soldier. Fifth stage is called as a middle-aged man. And the sixth stage is indicating as a what? Means turning into the baby again, right? Turning again towards a childish treble pipes. So his voice, once once strong or also harsh, now resembles what? Resembles the high-pitched treble of a child. It seems like what he was shouting, but it seems like a child is just shouting and indicating that what? Regression into old age. And that is nothing but the sign of old age. And whistles in its sound. He doesn't even produce the proper word. The old man's voice now turning into whistles as he speaks, further highlighting the physical deterioration that comes with aging, right? So then finally you find out the last scene of all, right? This is the final stage, represents what? The end of life, that approaching death, right? So that ends this strange, eventful history. This particular concluding indicates that what? Life with all its stages and events. It is a strange and complex journey, isn't it? It's a very strange and also difficult journey. In second childishness, you can say, like I told you, no, it is the second childishness and mere oblivion. What do you mean by oblivion? That you don't know what is going to happen in this next stage. So in this stage, the individual returns to a state of what? Second childishness, and becoming as a dependent and helplessness, or sorry, helpless as an infant. So, oblivion signifies or indicates that death is close to him, right? And bringing nothing but bringing forgetfulness, means he forgets everything. And at the end of existence, it seems like he is going to die very soon. So, at this time, you won't find out what? Sans teeth, sans eye, sans test, sans everything. So, what do you mean by sans? So teeth means you understand. So in the last stage, you won't find out many teeth are present, right? Sans eyes, it means he unable to see anything. Sans taste, it means he loses the taste of food. Sans everything. So not only these things, all the other things also. So the poem concludes with what? The powerful repetition. Sans, 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 which means called as a without. And the word sans is a French word, right? And it emphasizing that what? In the final stage, or you can say that final chapter of life, the individual has lost everything. Teeth, sight means seeing anything, test, and also ultimately the life itself, isn't it? So at the end, we can draw the idea that Shakespeare's poem is a mediation. Mediation means that called as a medium of the inevitability of aging. Inevitability means something that definitely come in the age, right? Or something that definitely comes in, you can say that aging and the stages that every person must go through. You can say that what each line, right, carefully describes what the different roles humans play as they move through life. Ultimately, you can say concluding with the death through vivid imagery, right, and metaphor. Vivid imagery means called as a brief picture and also comparison. Shakespeare highlights what? The transitory nature of life, that the movement nature of life. And it suggests that what? Our experiences, our achievements, and even our physical abilities, right? They all are nothing but useless, temporary, and fleeting, passing quickly, isn't it? So that is what you can say the poem is all about. Are you listening to me?
Yes, sir.
Understood the point?
Yes, sir. But can I explain the sixth age again?
Sixth stage. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what did the sixth stage is indicating? The sixth age shifts or describes the transition of old age. What do you mean by transition? That called as a means how the person, from the middle age to reach to the old age, in which you would find out the individual begins to decline physically, So physically his body is degrading. So how? Now his body turns into lean and slippered pantaloon. The meaning of Pantaloon refers to what? An old man, often in a comic character. So, in a traditional Italian theater, who is known for being what? Known for being weak and foolish. It means the sixth stage of the human being indicates nothing but the human being turn in this age become physically weak and also foolish. So he unable to make any decision properly. So physically he was also lean. Lean means that called as a not the kind of a condition that he was in earlier youngest time, and slippered also, and that indicates nothing but or that presents metaphorically physical weakness. So it stated that with the spectacles or nose. So when you wear the spectacles, you generally put it like a smartness. But once you turn old age or you become very weak, physically weak, so your specs all the times lie here, right? So it's the spectacles on nose and pouch on side. The what do you mean by pouch? The old man wears the spectacles due to poor eyesight and carries a pouch, right? So pouch means what? Something that he wants to put it in his mouth, and that indicates nothing but a sedentary life. Sedentary means called as a lazy, comfortable life. His youthful hose. When we say that hose, it indicates nothing but the clothes. His youthful hopes that were well set. It means he kept all his youngest dresses or clothes so in a fine manner, well set, or walled too wide. So it indicates that the how the old man's life changed, the changes of in the old man's body, his once youthful clothes like hose or stockings no longer fit him because because his legs have shrunk with age. Shrunk with age means what? They are turning very thin and also very wrinkling, right? So for his shrunk shank. What do you mean by for his shrunk shank? And his big manly voice. His you can say that shrunk sank and his big manly voice turning again toward childish trebles. Pipes is turning again towards childish treble pipes and whistles in its sound. Now this indicates that his for his shrunk sank and his big manly voice, it indicates that his strongly manly voice has now turning weakened and become thin and tremulous. Tremulous means shivering. Like while the old man was speaking, you would find out he unable to speak clearly or fluently. So his voice, once strong, now resembles what? The high pitched treble of a child. So you take a baby, so when the baby cries, when the child shouts, you would find out his voice is not like the young age person. So similar to that, the old man turning into a child, his voice turns nothing but a treble, right? So and indicating the regression into old age. So that are nothing but symbol of the old age. So while he was saying speaking also something, his voice now whistling. Whistling means like you find out only the sound comes, but not the meaningful words. He as he speaks, further highlighting the physical deterioration that comes with aging. And these are nothing but a clear sign of what? Uh, that physical deterioration. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The next class will discuss more about it. Hmm? Huh?
So when will the next class?
Today is Wednesday. Tomorrow is Thursday. So tomorrow you are free?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then I'll do that. Okay,
Yes, sir.
bye for now. We'll meet in the next class. I'll give you some questions, uh, pertinent to this particular topic. Your job is to do them and submit before tomorrow before 10 o'clock. Okay? Okay?
So, oh, yes, sir.
Bye. Bye for now. I'll send
Thanks,
you
sir.
the. Thank you.